お帰りなさいませ、主様。私からのプレゼントです。明日はこちらをご用意してお待ちしてますね。
1にプリン、2にプリン、3、4もプリンで、5ももちろんプリンなの。
特定の条件を達成すると報酬がもらえますよ。
1にプリン、2にプリン、3、4もプリンで、5ももちろんプリンなの。
1、特定の条件を達成すると報酬がもらえますよ。
1にプリン、2に
我が眷属よ、共に来るがよい。わらわが宴へと案内してやろう。私も頑張るね。打ち込むささあ食らいやがれ。エリサー水中剣ナックラー攻撃するの。ウルフェンバイトそうだ
進めなの。プリンプリンプリンにしてやるの。
打ち込むさ一緒に頑張りましょう。打ち込むさ水中剣ナックラーみんなを癒して
おやつの時間なの。
暴れるぜ。
攻撃するの。
それ覚悟しろよ。ウルフェンバイト調子が出てきたぜ。水中剣ナックラー
プリンにしてやるの。
集中さ打ち込むさ打ち込むさ一緒に頑張りましょう。守ってみせる。ウルフェンバイトさあ暴れるぜ。みんなを癒して打ち込むさ
攻撃するの。
ね水中剣ナックラーラー食らいやがれ。エリサー収穫たっぷりで嬉しいさ。
適当に頑張るの。喉でぐるぐる
覚悟しろよ。
いただきます。
覚悟しろよ。
よし やるの。怖くないからね。
覚悟しろよ。いただきや。かき回してやるにゃ。ウルフェンバイト。それ。はっ。にゃん。みんなを癒して。
おやつの
守ってみせる。
一緒に頑張りましょう。
食らいやがれ。いただきや。かき回してやるにゃ。覚悟しろよ。
いいかね。プリンプリンにしてやるの。
ウルフェンバイト。
大変よくできました。受け取ることができる報酬があるようです。ついてきてね。
喉がゴロゴロ回ってみせる。暴れるぜ。覚悟しろよ。食らいやがれ。いやー、いただきや。かき回してやるにゃ。止まって。
進めなの。
みんなを癒して。猫の手
プリンプリンにしてやるの。
暴れるぜ。ウルフェンバイト。食らいやがれ。
一緒に頑張りましょう。
覚悟しろよ。
いよいよなの。
かき回してやるにゃ。覚悟しろよ。みんなを癒して。暴れるぜ。
痛い痛いいけない子。
覚悟だ。
プリンにしてやるの。
守ってみせる。暴れるぜ。いただきや。かき回してやるにゃ。ウルフェンバイト。
おやつの基本なの。
猫の手を貸してあげるにゃ。
これがプリンで得た力なの。
腕が鳴るぜ。
喉がゴロゴロね。猫の手も貸してあげるの。にゃん。それ。猫の手も貸してあげるにゃ。
暴れるぜ。
かき回してやるにゃ。
食らいやがれ。こっからが本番だな。
プリンにしてやるの。
みんなを癒して。いただきや。ウルフェンバイト。
いや一緒に頑張りましょう。
調子が出てきたぜ。
かき回してやるにゃ。猫の手を貸してあげるの。いただきや。いけない。
みんなを癒して。
にゃ。プリンにしてやるの。
守ってみせる。暴れるぜ。いただきや。かき回してやるにゃ。
緒に頑張りましょう。
調子が出てきたぜ。
と気持ちやるにゃ。みんなを癒して
暴れるぜ。
痛いみたいに飛んでけ。それプリンにしてやるのおやつの子。
ウルフェンファイト。暴れるぜ。
痛いみたい気持ちやるにゃ。来ないで。
覚悟しろよ。
よかった。ちゃんと勝てたね。私も頑張るね。
やってやるぜ。
猫の手も貸して
暴れるぜ。
痛いみたいに飛んでけ。それよし。
覚悟しろよ。
気持ちやるにゃ。
暴れるぜ。
痛いみたいに飛んでけ。先生も一緒だからね。みんなを癒して。いつも守ってみせる。
暴れるぜ。ウルフェンファイト。おりゃ。
気持ちやるにゃ。そりゃ
覚悟しろよ。
にゃ。
暴れるぜ。
プリンにしてやるの。おやつの時間だ。
覚悟しろよ。
貸してあげる
調子が出てきたぜ。
いいかね。気持ちやるにゃ。
暴れるぜ。
みんなを癒して。
ウルフェンファイト。
一緒に頑張りましょう。来ないで。気持ちやるにゃ。おやつの時間なの。
食らいやがれ。
にゃっとにゃっ。
ウルフェンファイト。
プリンにしてやるの。おやつの時間なの。
喧嘩相手は選べってこった。
猫の手貸してあげるにゃ。頑張るね。いいかね。
暴れるぜ。おりゃ。覚悟しろよ。
守ってみせる。
暴れるぜ。
気持ちやるにゃ。油断は禁物だにゃ。みんなを癒して。
覚悟しろよ。
プリンにしてやるの。いただき。
ウルフェンファイト。
来ないで。一緒に頑張りましょう。いよいよだな。気持ちやるにゃ。
覚悟しろよ。
みんなを癒して。そりゃ。痛いみたいに飛んでけ。
食らいやがれ。
プリンにしてやるの。猫の手も貸して。
ウルフェンファイト。
いけるよ。止まって。気持ちやるにゃ。それ
覚悟しろよ。
大変よくできました。 人パーティーでお祝いなの。私も頑張るね。守ってみせる。暴れるぜ。いやぶち込むさ。覚悟しろよ。守ってみせる。ぶち込むさ。琉球剣だフライ。みんなを癒して。痛いウルフェンファイト。一緒に頑張りましょう。プリンプリンにしてやるの。やつの時間なの。大抜きするの。ぶち込む琉球剣だフライ。やめて。仕事口のプリンにしてやるの。やめろな。あらららら。おやつの時間なの。かけて出てやるの。頑張るね。覚悟しろよ。ぶち込むさ。くらいやがれ。ぶち込むさ。大丈夫？誰か怪我してない？主様のために。出発なの。集中さ。暴れるぜ。さあ。肩につきましょう。守ってみせる。やっ。光のご加護。みんなを癒して。クライアッシュウルフェンファイト。プリンにしてやるの。肩につきましょう。適当に頑張るの。頑張るね。覚悟しろよ。止まって。やめて。ぶち込むさ。行くね。覚悟しろよ。大抜きするの。ウルフェンファイト。大したことねえよ。もう死んでたの。報酬がもらえますよ。チェックしてみてください。ギルド管理協会です。お疲れ様です。
1にプリン、2にプリン、3、4もプリンで、5ももちろんプリンなの。クエストを攻略するとアイテムが手に入るんだって。もらえるものはもらっておきましょう。1にプリン、2にプリン、3、4もプリンで、5ももち。特定の条件を達成すると報酬がもら。
やるぜ。覚悟しやったな。
本気でやりますよ。誇りを込めて。にゃん、攻撃するの。大勝利にゃ。 れがプリンで得た力なの。背の低さなど問題にならなかったな。出発なの。かき回してやるにゃ。そうや。本気でいきますよ。死でにして。プリンにしてやるの。おやつの時間なの。プリンパーティーでお祝いなの。やるぜ。ウルフェンファイト。かき回してやるにゃ。本気でいきますよ。一級百中で。おやつの時間な。お兄ちゃん、見ててくれましたか？やるぜ。かき回してやるにゃ。プリンにしてやるの。でも貸してあげるにゃ。ね。ウルフェンファイト。そりゃ。そうや。これがプリンで得た力なの。出発。一緒に頑張りましょう。猫の手で貸してあげるし。かき回してやるにゃ。本気でいきますよ。ね。そうや。覚悟しろよ。ウルフェンファイト。この勢いで勉強も頑張りますよ。 できました。出発のかき回してやるにゃ。攻撃するな。暴れるぜ。本気でいきますよ。プリンプリンしてやるの。あれ覚悟しろよ。暴れるぜ。アローダインウルフェンファイト。本気でいきます。かき回してやるにゃ。大勝利にゃ。1にプリン、1に特定の条件を達成すると報酬がもらえますよ。1にまだまだ頑張りたかったのに。お兄ちゃん見ててくれましたか？1にプリン、特定の条件を達成すると報酬が主様、旅の準備を整えてより充実した冒険をいたしましょう。
しゃれして可愛くなりたいな。特定の条件を達成すると報酬がもらえますよ。頑張りましょう。1にプリン、2にプリン、3。我が眷属よ、共に来るがよい。わらわが宴へと案内してやろう。1にプリン、2にプリン、3種もプリンで5ももちろんプリンなの。主様のために手早く片付けましょう。覚悟しろよ。好きだよ。そうで当たれ。覚悟しろよ。はあ、光のご加護。本気でいきますよ。本気するな。この調子です。畳みかけましょう。アローデイン暴れるぜ。ウルフェンファイト。調子が出てきたぜ。プリンプリンプリンにしてあげましょう。一緒に頑張りましょう。痛いね痛いね。ね。そりゃやったな。いいか光のご加護。覚悟しろよ。本気でいきますよ。飛んでて。よく頑張ったわね。いい子いい子。 るぜ。
肩にかけましょう。
暴れるぜ。
そうでね、
覚悟しろよ。
肩にかけましょう。
こんなの暴れるぜ。
こんなの進めなの。
覚悟しろよ。
痛いのか。光のご加護。
ウルフェイファイト。
いよいよなの。プリンプリンしてやる。
覚悟しろよ。暴れるぜ。
そりゃ一緒に頑張りましょう。そりゃ
覚悟しろよ。
好きだよ。
ウルフェイファイト。
この勝利を主様に捧げます。肩にかけましょう。
暴れるぜ。
本気でいきますよ。
食らいやがれ。覚悟しろよ。
いいかね。それまだまだ余裕です。
覚悟しろよ。
痛いのか。光のご加護。
おやウルフェイファイト。調子が出てきたぜ。
プリンしてやる。肩にかけましょう。
暴れるぜ。
痛いのか。一緒に頑張りましょう。頑張れ。
大したこと。
いいかね。
食らいやがれ。ウルフェイファイト。
大変よくできました。特定の条件を達成すると報酬がもら 1に。
やるぜ。暴れる。大したことねえよ。
いけない子。
覚悟しろよ。
それもう死んでた。
うるせえファイト。
この死で実践。一緒に頑張りましょう。当たれ。ね。とりゃ。アローダイン。いけない。ここで終わり？お兄ちゃんどうにかしてよ。1にプリン、2にプリン。はいたーい。今から楽しいところに行くんだけど、君もよかったら。それじゃあヴァンパイア退治に行くさ。ランドソルの平和は私たちが守るよ。けど香織はん、ヴァンパイアがいるのは分かっても、どうやって倒せばいいかが分からしまへん。ご心配なく。ヴァンパイアには弱点があるからね。おお、マコトーにとっての可愛いものみたいなものさ。
いいだろ別に。私が可愛いもの好きでも。それにそういう話じゃねえよ。
ヴァンパイアの苦手なものといえば、まずはニンニクだ。はあ、なるほど。ニンニクの匂いは強烈だもんね。確かにニンニクの匂いが服に染みついたら可愛い格好も台無しどす。ニンニク怖いどすな。こちらにとってもニンニクが弱点になりそうだ。話を戻すが、ヴァンパイアはニンニクの匂いじゃ弱るだけで死なないんだ。弱らせてからきちんととどめを刺す必要がある。一体どうしたら倒せるさ。琉球剣ナックルアローじゃダメさ。ヴァンパイアの苦手な武器はズバリ白木の杭だ。それを胸に一突きすればヴァンパイアの命は尽きる。胸でなければダメやろか。ちょっとなんというか残酷どすな。ヴァンパイアは心臓を破壊しない限り死なないからね。それに敵は怪物だ。情けをかけて逃がせばいずれ厄介なことになる。でもニンニクと白木の杭、これだけ弱点が分かれば私たちでもなんとかなりそうさ。そうどすな。教えてくれておおきに、かすみはん。健闘を祈っているよ。君たち二人ならきっと大丈夫だ。任せるさ。なんて言ったって私たちはヴァンパイアハンターさ。よーし、それじゃあヴァンパイアを探しながら対決に備えてニンニクと白木の杭も手に入れるさ。香りはん、そのことなんやけど、うち思ったんや。どういう意味さ。かすみはんからはヴァンパイアの倒し方を教わったけど、相手は伝説のヴァンパイアやろ。普通のヴァンパイアとはわけが違うと思うんどす。 確かに。なんだか急に普通のニンニクと白木の食いが効くか不安になってきたさ。せやで、だから香りはん、うちらはそれよりもっとすごいものを集めまひょ。もっとすごいもの？ニンニクと白木の杭よりもっと。オッケーさ。じゃあ早速街で探してみるさ。すみません、誰かいないさ。あっ、びっくりしたさ。王子はんやない。こんな場所で会えるなんて、やっぱりうちら運命でつながってるんや。君は、なるほどさ。ここで私たちニンニクと白木の食いよりもすごいものを探してるんだけど、取り扱ってたりする？確かに攻撃力はヤリのが高いやろうけど、普通の武器じゃダメやろ。どの店にも置いてないさ。なんだかすごいもの。ほんまやね。もう予定はないから平気。おおきに王子はん。お言葉にけど、ニンニクよりすごいものってどういう風にすごいことなんやろ。あ、一つニンニクよりすごい食べ物を思いついたさ。ニンニクより強烈な形と味だけど、それはとっても美味しいんさ。それは何ですか？うちも私の故郷ではよく食べられてるもので、ゴーヤーっぽいものって呼ばれてるさ。ゴーヤーっぽいもの？なんや強そうな名前どすな。見た目もニンニクより強そうで、味は独特の苦味があるけど、料理のでも繁華街にはあんまり売ってないから手間はかかるけど、一つ目のニンニクよりそうどすな。次は白木のなんだろう。あれはどうですやろ。綿棒。綿棒？それは食いよりすごいものさ。もちろん、ただの綿棒やありまへん。魔法王国の伝統的な技術で作るうどん用綿棒どす。魔法王国伝統？確かにそれはすごいさ。打ってよし、叩いてよし、伸ばしてよし、武器にするもよし。白木の杭は武器にしかならんやろ。その点あれで作るうどんは絶品やったわ。コシの強いシコシコな麺を繊細なお出汁の効いたつゆで食べる。あかん、うちホームシックになりそうやわ。すごいさ。そんなにいろいろなことに使えるなら、きっとヴァンパイアも倒せるに違いないさ。どこに行けば手に入る？ま
町では売ってないやろな。うちの故郷でも古くからやってるおうどん。
それじゃあ伝説のヴァンパイアを倒す2つの武器はゴーヤーっぽいものとうどん用綿棒で決まりさ。この2つを見つければヴァンパイア、まずはゴーヤーっぽいものから探すさ。
当てはあるんどすか？
ないけど外に出ればなんくるなるよ。2人とも行くよ。ヴァンパイア待ってるさ。
なんじゃ？誰かわらわの噂でもしておるのか？きっと眷属どもがわらわを叩いておるのだな。きっと眷属どもがわらわを叩いておるのだな。人気者は大変じゃな。今日はやたら日差しが強いな。さすがのわらわもこれはなかなか。香りはん、あの子様子がおかしい気が。ずいぶん弱っているようどす。
ほんとさ。あんなところでフラフラしてたら危険さ。すぐに助けに行くさ。
あの子の近くに魔物が。なんじゃお主。いまいましいやつじゃ。人が弱ってる時に襲ってくるとは。
危ないさ。
なんじゃお主らは。ってお主ではないか。よくぞこのタイミングで現れた。さすがわらわの眷属じゃ。褒めてしんぜよ。まためまいが。ここはお主らに任せるとしよう。名も知らぬ者たちよ、わらわのために戦うがよい。お嬢ちゃんは下がって手をくれやす。この魔物はうちらでやっつけますさかい。
この魔物め、子供を襲うなんて許さないさ。やった、やっつけたさ。
ほう。
眩しくてクラクラする。おーい、大丈夫ね。日差しがきつくて死にそうじゃ。
大変や。うちらですぐ木陰に連れてってあげまひょ。
はい、冷たい水を持ってきたさ。
王子はんの知り合いの子やったんやね。無事でよかったわ。
かたじけないの。急に太陽に当たったからか体の順応が。そうよ、あんまりにも顔が青白いさ。病院に行かなくて平気ね。これは生まれつきじゃ。
お嬢ちゃん一人でこんなところにいるのは危険やさかい、町まで送っていきまひょか。
いや、もう大丈夫じゃ。それより3人はどこかへ行く途中だったのかも。私たちはゴーヤーっぽいものとうどん用綿棒を探してるさ。ほう、おかしなものを欲しがる連中もいるもんじゃな。一体何に使うのやら。そうじゃ、助けてくれた礼に一緒に探すのを手伝おう。
でも動いて平気なん？無理はあかんよ。
お主らのおかげでだいぶ休めたからな。問題ないわ。それにいざとなったら。君はこの子に慕われてるんだね。
やっぱり王子はんはすごいんやね。こんな小さい子にも好かれて、うちまで鼻が高いわ。
それにゴーヤっぽいものがある場所には心当たりがあるぞ。わらわが目覚める前に密林の中で自生しているのを見たことがあった。何分昔のことだからの。
昔って目が覚める前なんやから、昨日のことやろ。
子供にとっては毎日が濃密なんさ。きっと昨日のことも昔に感じる。
助かるわ。ほんま親切なお嬢ちゃんやね。
こちらこそ。旅は道連れというものじゃ。おっと、自己紹介が遅れたな。わらわはイリヤという、世を滑るものにしてこやつの主でもある。はいたーい、私はカオリーっていうさ。コーンってギルドでランドゾルの平和を守ってるさ。よろしくね。人類みんな兄弟さ。
うちはそのカオンでギルドマスターをしてるマホって言います。今はランドソルで暮らしてるんやけど、魔法王国の姫藩でもあるんよ。
それにしても世を滑るものってかっこいい肩書きさ。私も南国を滑るものとかがいいやさ。かっこいいから名乗ってるわけではないんじゃがな。それに魔法王国、そんな国あったかな。
地図にはありまへんが、確かに存在してるんどす。
そっか。ま、世界は広いからな。ゴーヤっぽいものもこの辺りでは珍しいの。そうよ、この辺りではわらわも食べたことはないが、よく知ってるさ。でもあの苦味とか特殊な料理にでも使うの。何にしても3人より4人の方が。なんや、みんなで楽しく行くさ。
進めば進むほどなんやジメジメしたところどすな。
日差しはだいぶ遮られているが、この服が張り付いてくる感触は我慢ならぬぞ。
私は暑いのは平気さ。故郷を思い出すよ。香りはんは慣れてはんな。うちはこの足元のおぼつかへん柔らかい地面苦手やわ。
どうかんじゃ。この水気の多い空気も全てが不快に感じるわい。昔よりも木々が生い茂っておるわ。
きっと暖かいからすぐに成長するんだね。
なんじゃ、どうした？
虫が服の中に。
虫？うわあ！いつの間に虫がこんなに。わらわにまとわりつくな。振り払っても近づいてくるとは。虫を払うのはいいが、手がわらわにも当たっておるぞ、バカ者。
みんな大げささ。暴れなければなんもしてこないさ。あそこにゴーヤーっぽいものがいっぱい生えてるさ。ちょっと取りに行ってくるさ。助けて。うち虫は苦手どず。
このわらわから血を吸おうとするとは。無礼かつ命知らずな虫どもじゃ。
二人ともあんま動くと余計虫に襲われるさ。もっと気楽に構えるさ。無茶言わんといて。イリアはん、うちの背中の虫取っておくれやす。
任せるがよい。それ。どうじゃ、わらわの手にかかれば。
イリアはん、頭の上に虫がおります
夢か。わらわが全開なら虫など一掃させてやるのに。
みんなもうちょっと待ってるさ。いっぱい取って持って帰るさ。
のんきじゃのう、香りは。
よいしょよいしょ。このくらいあれば十分さ。待たせたさ。
行くぞ。こんなところから。まったく。もう
二度とあんなところに行きまへん。たとえ何があっても。みんなお疲れ。
さて、次は何じゃったかな。
次はうどん用綿棒どす。
それは町で売っているのではないか。
ランドソルはうどん作りがそんなに盛んやない。
確かにわらわも生まれてこの方うどんは食べたことがないな。
やっぱりそうなんやろうか。困ったわ。イリアはん、なんかこう代わりになりそうなものとか思いつかへん？長くて硬くて強そうなやつなんやけど。
長くて硬い？ふふ、心当たりがないこともないぞ。おお、エリア、それはどこさ？わらわは日差しが苦手で洞窟などで休むことがあるのじゃが、その洞窟には魔物の亡骸が無数にあるのじゃ。魔物の亡骸どすか？どうやらその洞窟は歴戦の魔物たちが最後を迎える場所になっているらしく、その角なんかはとても鋭く同時に強固じゃ。これ確かに名案さ。それ、そうと決まれば出発じゃ。さあ。ゴツゴツしてて歩きにくいところやわ。真っ暗だし足元に気をつけるさ。だがわらわにとってさっきの密林に比べるとここは天国じゃ。ひんやりと。一体どのくらい奥まで行くさ？結構深いぞ。じゃが道は分かっておる。わらわについてくるがよい。イリアンはほんま頼りになる。わらわに任せておくがよい。本当に何から何まで助かるさ。イリアには後でたっぷりお礼がしたいさ。せや、無事にうちらが目的を果たしたら、ぜひイリアン、うちらのギルドに遊びに来てほしいわ。遊びにちょっと？どうしたさ？びっくりしたような顔して。いや、わらわも長いこと生きているが、そんなことを言われたのは初めてじゃ。今までは恐れられるばかりだったものでな。まだ子供やのに大げさですわ。それにうちらはもう友達ですさかい。遠慮なんていりませんえ。友達？そうか。眷属でも支配者でもなく、これが友達というものなの。そうか、友達？あれ？今の声は何さ？そういえばイリアン、ここ魔物の住処に。魔物の亡骸はあれど、生きた魔物は見たこと。ほら、また聞こえましたって。おい魔法、足元に気をつけるのじゃ。まあ、ここ穴が開いてますおのれ、いきなり。よし、掴んだぞ。助かりました。イリアン、気をつけるのじゃぞ。ここの地形はデコボコしているのじゃ。肝に銘じます広いところにたどり着いたな。多分この辺に。亡骸があるさ。角のある魔物は。なんか、あれは生き きた魔物？あやつ、亡骸を貪っておる。そうか。ここは魔物の墓場であると同時に、それを糧とす。これぞ生命の循環であるな。自然の断りとは残酷なものじゃ。
イリアはん、感心してる場合じゃありまへん。あの魔物。強そうさ。
ああ、しかもかなりの魔力を持っているようじゃ。
うちらで倒せるやろか。
無理はしない方がいいさ。わらわに考えがある。この付近には底の深い穴があってな。わらわがおとりになってそこへ誘導しよう。
そんなの危険さ。
そうじゃな。お主と一緒なら大丈夫じゃな。二人ともわらわたちはうまくかわす。じゃからお主らで攻撃してあの魔物を穴へ落とすのじゃ。お主らなら絶対うまくやってくれると信じてあるぞ。
私たちもイリアを信じるさ。君、イリアを守ってあげるさ。イリアはん、王子はん、頼りにしてます
いざお立ち会いじゃ。さあ魔物よ、わらわたちはここにいるぞ。こちらに来るのじゃ。まだじゃ。まだ引きつけて。ギリギリまで。まだじゃ。よくやったぞ。そのまま攻撃を防いでくれ。二人とも今じゃ。
うちが魔物の動きを止めます魔法ダークです。ナイスさ魔法。この隙にとりゃー琉球剣ナックル
魔物が穴へと落ちてゆくぞ。よくやった
うちは大したことはしておりまへん。イリアはんとカオリはんのおかげや。私は背中を殴っただけさ。一番危なかったのはイリアさ。
これはわらわたち4人のコンビネーションじゃな。それより魔物も退けたことじゃし、角を手に入れようぞ。
これなんか立派さ。これはワイルドホーンの角やね。おおきに。アンさんの角、平和のために使わせてもらうわ。やったさー。2つの道具が手に入ったね。これであとはパンパ
イアをやっつけるだけさ。何？ヴァンパイアじゃと？イリアン？どうしましたの？今、ヴァンパイアを倒すと言ったか？イリアン、それが何でっしゃろか。うちと香りはんは今、ヴァンパイアハンターなんどす。ヴァンパイアハンターじゃと？そうどす。伝説のヴァンパイアが蘇ったって聞いて、ヴァンパイアは恐ろしい存在やから退治せなあかん思うて、うちらが立ち上がったんどす。かつて伝説のヴァンパイアによってランドソルは恐ろしい目にあったという伝承が残ってるんどす。放っておいたらランドソルが大変なことになるさ。なんて言ったって伝説のヴァンパイアさ。だから私たちはヴァンパイアの弱点であるニンニクと白木の杭よりもすごいものを集めていたさ。それでニンニクの代わりにゴーヤっぽいもの、白木の杭の代わりにうどん用綿棒ということか。そうだ、リリアも私たちと一緒に伝説のヴァンパイアを倒すのを手伝ってほしいさ。それは無理な相談じゃな。どうしてさ？お主ら、その伝説のヴァンパイアの名は知っておるかな？それはまだどす。そうか。ならば教えてやろう。そのヴァンパイアの名はイリア・オーンシュタイン。かつてランドソルを恐怖で支配した伝説のヴァンパイアじゃ。イリア・オーンシュタイン。イリアが伝説のヴァンパイアだったさ。はあ。ってそんなわけないさ。イリアみたいな小さい子がヴァンパイアのわけないさ。イリアあんたら冗談がうまいわ。もしかしてヴァンパイアの噂もイリアンのごっこ遊びから生まれたんとちゃう？ありうるさ。まことの早とちりかもね。お主ら、先ほどから小さいやらごっこ遊びやら失礼なことばっかり言いよって。ならば見せてやろう。お主さえおればわらわは大人になれるのじゃ。大人の姿になれば魔力も今より格段に上がる。今から抱きつくからの、じっとしておれ。落ち着いていられるか。黙って抱きつかれろ。いくぞ。それ。 にだけつくとこんなにドキドキと心臓が高まるのじゃ。体が熱い。イリアがどんどん成長していくぞ。こんなことが嘘や。魔力が満ちてゆくぞ。これこそわらわのあるべき姿。わらわこそ世を滑る絶対の頂点、伝説のヴァンパイアイリア・オンスタインじゃ。言ったはずであろう。わらわは世を滑るものだと。小さい子の考える設定かなんかだと思ってたさ。微笑ましいと思ってた自分がバカだったさ。うちもや。その設定に王子はんが付き合ってあげてるんやと思ってた。まさか命を助けられたと思うた二人に命を狙われておったとは、なんとも皮肉な話よな。しかも自分を倒す道具を一緒に探しておったとは。じゃがわらわとて黙って殺されるわけにはいかん。さあ、そこの二人、わらわを倒したいのじゃろう。そのゴーヤっぽいものと魔物の角でかかってくるがよい。香りはん、うちらも覚悟決めなあきまへん。そんな、でもイリアは私たちの仲間で。うちだってそうどす。小さなお嬢ちゃんやけど物知りで頼りになる子で、まるでずっと友達やったような気さえしとった。私だってそうさ。一緒に行動して一緒に戦ってなのに伝説のヴァンパイアだったなんて。
そうじゃ。わらわは人々が恐れる伝説のヴァンパイア。お主らが倒すべき敵なのじゃ。だからわらわもお主らなどあっという間に蹴散らして一個だにしないのが本当なのじゃが。まどろっこしいわ。とにかくかかってまいれ。わらわも今さら何を言うておるのじゃ。この状況で戻れるか。とにかくお主は下がっておれ。これはわらわとこの二人の問題なのじゃ。
王子はんがうちらの仕事を手伝ってくれたら嬉しいんやけどな。一にプリン。
覚悟しろよ。
イケメン子。そりゃ
覚悟しろよ。
これを9点中でプリンしてやるんだ。これを
ウルフェンファイト。
一緒に頑張りましょう。
帰ったことねえよ。
試練一戦アローダイン。痛いみたいに飛んで
あたしを飼いならせると思ったのかい。
主様、旅の準備を整えてより重 特定の条件を達成すると報酬がもらえますよ。やめや。イリアはんと戦うなんてできまへん。うちは折れるわ。私も友達を退治するなんて私にはできないさ。伝説のヴァンパイアなんてただの伝承や。でも今目の前にいるのは恐ろしいヴァンパイアやのうてうちの友達や。そうさ、この旅でイリアにたくさん助けてもらって、今日一日一緒にいろんなことを乗り越えた友達を敵だなんて思えるはずがないさ。そうか、それは奇遇じゃな。わらわもどうしても二人を敵だとは思えぬのじゃ。わらわもこの武器を下ろそうではないか。王子はんの言う通りどす。うちらは友達。それでええやろ。そうさ、私たちはこれからも仲良くしていくさ。悪いヴァンパイアなんて最初からいなかったさ。イリアー、ずっとこれからも私たちと友達でいてほしいさ。わらわの目的は世界征服。それは変わらん。じゃがそれはいつになるとは言っておらん。もしかしたら100年200年後ということもあり得るわけじゃ。わらわとて二人とはもう少し一緒にいたいしな。せやせや、大丈夫どす。これからもっともっと互いを知っていきまひょ。おう、それは楽しみじゃな。戦うことにならなくて本当によかったさ。この出会いに感謝どすな。何やらむずがゆいが、友情というのは良いものじゃな。最初に街道で二人がわらわを助けてくれなければ、わらわたちは今頃互いに戦い合っていたというわけか。そうならなくて本当によかったさ。っていうか、イリアに会わなければまだ荒野っぽいものを探してたと思うさ。そういえばあの時の魔法はすごかったな。虫が服の中に入ってきたとパニック。あれはほんまに恐怖やったわ。あの虫が這い回る感触。寒気が。今思い返しても笑えてくるわ。イリアだって虫にイライラしてたさ。あれは虫ごときがわらわの血を吸おうとしたからじゃ。よりにもよってこの伝説のヴァンパイアのわらわの血を。それなのに香りは一人涼しい顔をしようって。そしてゴーヤっぽいものを見つけて、次はうどん用綿棒を探しにここに来はったんやな。ああ、それにしてもなぜニンニクがゴーヤっぽいもので白木の杭がうどん用綿棒になったのじゃ。 伝説のヴァンパイアを相手にするんだから、もっとすごいもので対抗しなきゃかなって思って2人で決めたさ。
言っておくが、わらわはゴーヤっぽいものもうどんよ綿棒も効かぬぞ。しかしそのセンス
うちらは真剣やったのにな。そうさ、本気だったさ。
もしそれをもって二人がわらわの前に現れていたらいかん、笑いが止まらぬぞ。
でもイリアンかて子供の姿のまんまやったらうちら絶対わからなかったどす。
子供の姿は別に好き好んでなっていたわけではないぞ。大人になるためにはこやつに抱きつかねばならぬのじゃ。世の中は理不尽じゃ。まったく。それにしてもいい旅じゃった
いい旅だったさ。ほんまです
わ。さあ、とりあえずみんなで帰って何？貴様。反応が遅れた。とりゃー！香り？すまぬ。助かったぞ。
友達を助けるの当然さ。ね、魔法。せやねん。大切な友達が傷つくの。
そうか。わらわたちは主従の関係ではなく友であったな。行こうぞ盟友たちよ。オノガブを存分に振るおうぞ。来たぞ。
おおきにね、王子はん。はあ、私の動きについてこられるさ。うちの魔法攻撃はいかがだす？結構効きますやろ。なかなかやるさ。香りはん、すぐに回復魔法を。
二人ともしばしの辛抱。お主よ、わらわの魔力を率先してあげるのじゃ。二人とももう少し頑張ってくれ。まだあともう少し。奴を倒せる魔力まで。よし、魔力十分じゃ。いいか魔法香り。わらわの合図であやつの額に攻撃を集中するのじゃ。
了解どすえ。任せるさ。
魔物よ、わらわたちの絆の力を思い知るがよい。今じゃ。
メルヘンガーデン19剣ナックルアラ
ファーミリオンバイト。わらわは不死身じゃ。
やったさ。魔物を倒したさ。
二人が協力してくれたおかげじゃ。
うちらであんなすごい魔物を倒せたんやな。一人でも二人でもダメだったさ。三人だったからできたさね。
誰のことじゃ？他に誰かいたかの？
ごめんごめん。君もいてくれたから勝てたさ。
こ
ここは素直に礼を言っておくかな。あれ？ん？うわあ、子供に戻っておる。魔力を使い果たしたせいか？今日はもう遅いし、子供が一人夜道を歩くのは危険さ。私たちのギルドハウスに来るさ。改めてお客はんとして招待しますよって。そうか。ではせっかくだし世話になろうかな。ごちそうというのも約束じゃしな。二人ともお疲れ様。無事で何よりだ。
それにしても伝説のヴァンパイアが蘇ったってのが間違いだったなんてな。悪かった。出どころが不確かな噂を簡単に信じちまって。
そうです伝説のヴァンパイアなんていなかったんだぜ。そうさ。とりあえずイリアをみんなで歓迎するさ。そうじゃな。世話になろうぞ。
なんかぎこちねえな。ま、お客さんも来てくれたことだ。今日はゆっくりしてってくれよな。
ということでイリアはんとの新たな友情を祝って夕食会を始めるどす。おお、これがごちそうじゃな。待っておったぞ。メインディッシュはうちと香りはんの手作りゴーヤっぽいもの入りうどんどす。どれどれ。いくわ。イリアはんはゴーヤっぽいものは平気と言うてはったから他のおかずもゴーヤ尽くしにしたんどす。うどんは魔物の角を使って売ってみたんやけど。そうか、それは手が込んでいるの。ゴーヤっぽいもの、まさかここまで苦いとは。それは生まれつきじゃ。ほっとけ。でも妙に表情が硬いけど本当に平気さ。心配無用じゃ。友がわらわのために作った料理を前に感動しているだけじゃ。いえぬ、このゴーヤっぽいもの食べても平気じゃが味はすごく苦手とは絶対に言えぬ。それに大人なら食べられて当然なんじゃ。何よりわらわとこやつらとの友情がうまいのうまいの。それはよかったさ。まだいくらでもあるよ。どんどんおかわりしてほしいさ。うどんのお出汁は魔法王国にある名店の味を参考にしたんよ。味わって食べておなんやイリアはんの顔、青白い色がますます青なってきたわ。もしかしてゴーヤっぽいものが苦手なん？いや、そんなこと ことはないぞ。魔王が作ってくれたものじゃからな。嬉しいどすな。おかわり用意してきましょ。なのこれしき。ふわりと舞う花の顔はんなりとまといましょう。なんくるないさ踊ればいいさ。一緒なら楽しいさ。手つないでほないほか。めんそれみんなでそれ。ゆるりのんびりちんとしょう。愛情優勝乙女の純情。高鳴りすぎたらみんな響け響く夢たちのチャンプルー。思い出が詰まってるって。主様との楽しい日々。
素敵な仲間が増えますよ。科学の発展のため、君の実験への協力が必要なの。よろしくね。
特定の条件を達成。眷属よ、いいところに来たわ。1にプリン、2にプリン、3子もプリンで。 1にプリン、2にプリン、3、4もプリンで、5ももちろんプリンなの。いろいろ美味しいもの食べられるし、結構幸せ。私はあいつ
室内だし兜を脱ぐか。
1にプリン、2にプリン、3、4もプリンで、5ももちろんプリン。1にプリン、2にプリン。1にプリン、2にプリン。1にプリン、2にプリン、3、4もプリンで、5ももちろんプリンなの。お空を飛ぶのが好きなの。いたずらするのも好きなの。でもプリンはもっと好きなの。育成に必要なアイテムが獲得できるクエストです。私、主様のために強くなりますよ。出発なのです。大したことねえよ。ここにかけてくらいやがれ。追いついてやれば私はまたやられねえと死で見せこれがアローダインザ 1にプリン、2にプリン、3、4もプリンで、5ももちろんプリンなの。特定の条件を達成すると、おし1に主様、旅の準備を整えて、より充実した冒険をいたしましょう。1にプリン、2にプリン、3、4もプリンで、5ももちろんプリンなの。
네, 우리가 지면 되냐 해가지고 그냥 되게 연습을 많이 했거든요. 그렇기 때문에 저희도 전성 우승을 하게 된 게 당연하지 않나 생각해요. 막 MSB를 끝내고는 세진 것 같았는데
21% of the court, what a finish, what a finish. Rich Galindez reset, they're trying to go for it, isn't it?
This tournament will
All right. So, okay, everybody from here to it's nothing.
What is that?
That is mine! Damn it, Reinhardt!
And dare I say it's no limits. Oh my God.
I live for this!
Hi. Darren DePaul, voice actor for Reinhardt.
Once again, Halloween not popular in my neighborhood. 3 kids. 3. Jeff. Heroes. And I am going to cry. Amazing cost between Genji and... Let's go,
You don't have to do this anymore. Winston's message wasn't meant for you. This isn't your fight. Papa told me after so many years of service, you gave Overwatch everything, and then they pushed you out. Why would you go back to them? What is that?
So, that's it. You're leaving us.
I have been called. I must answer. It is a great honor.
To disappear into some secret organization. Give up the glory of being a crusader? I don't think so.
He wishes he got picked.
The Crusaders are immortal defenders of Germany. People will be singing songs about our legacies.
Our legacies are our deeds. And this war is bigger than all of us.
Drop pods to the east, they're coming!
All right, people, they're playing our song. Stick with your dance partners. Let's crush those rust buckets.
Here's your walking stick, old man.
Live with honor.
Die with glory.
We workers, run! Rocket up! Fire!
I love the wind in my hair.
Get back and protect your team!
Ah, they're just slowing me down. Ah, besides, they're fine.
What is that?
That is mine!
Damn it, Reinhardt! Reinhardt!
More will sing!
We're being overrun! Fall back to the rally point. I'll get Reinhardt.
I had this.
Obviously. They're cutting us off. Let's move! That door won't hold. Get back to the unit. I will hold them off.
And let you have all the glory? We will fight our way back together!
No, I'm staying here.
But without you...
Lieutenant! You took an oath to be a crusader. Now, keep it.
I won't leave you!
The team needs you. Be their shield. Reinhardt, live with honor.
Die with glory, old friend. I have been called. I must answer. Always.
Someone once said that you can't go home.
Just to spend time together.
And Bear Druid fight, we would get together.
You know there's more out there, don't you?
No one can stop death.
From you, I have learned patience, my son.
It's about time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Blizzard Entertainment co-founder, Mike Morheim.
Thank you so much, everyone. And welcome to BlizzCon 2018. I think, like
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Alliance, and hey, it's BlizzCon, so even Horde. Welcome to the Mythic Dungeon Invitational All-Stars live at BlizzCon. My name is Robert Wing, and joining me for the afternoon, it's the Future Crew. We've got Sloot, Jack, Nagura, friends. How'd your BlizzCon been?
It's been pretty good, and Rob, might I say, your hair looks lovely today.
Jack?
Absolutely incredible time to be at BlizzCon here and be able to be a part of the Mythic Dungeon Invitational and see, honestly, such 4 legendary teams.
Nagura, how are you enjoying this is your first BlizzCon,
My first BlizzCon ever, so enjoying it a lot of new things to explore, and a lot of people here as well.
Yeah, this is BlizzCon number 5 for me, but I'll say that every year it's always a little bit different. You get to see all these people kind of experiencing for the first time, friends connecting, coming together, the community really coming together and celebrating all these great games, these great stuff that we do, and never loses its luster. Always super exciting. But let's talk a little bit about why we're here now. The Mythic Dungeon Invitational. This is a program now on the tail end of its 2nd year, and this is the first time ever it's been at BlizzCon. We are finally bringing competitive PvE to the BlizzCon stage, and we just tail-ended through our global finals back in June, I believe it was. We crowned a champion, and now we're on a little bit different thing here. Legion is done. We are now to battle for Azeroth, and we're kind of going to get the first taste of what this new expansion is going to be like for the Mythic Dungeon Invitational program.
I'm really excited. We're going to have a great showcase of pretty much all of the dungeons today. And I mean, these teams I know have been practicing, some more than others. We'll have a look at that later too, but it's amazing. I'm so stoked to be here for BlizzCon finally. So many people that just love PvP have been talking to me on PvE, excuse me, and PvP. have been talking to me about how excited they are to finally see something like this represented at BlizzCon.
We also see a lot of the history as well, where you're seeing those teams that have been playing together. I mean, look at the 3 Marcy. 4 out of the 5 players that won in 2017 are coming back, and they're competing here on the BlizzCon stage. It's really incredible that those relationships are kind of staying there, you know?
Yeah, it's the first time that we have the new BFA dungeons, so we're probably going to see a lot of different strats coming in from the teams. In the global finals, we have been playing the same dungeons for a long time, so most of the strats have been developed already, and they're playing the same ones. But now that we have those new dungeons, we're probably going to see different strats from all the teams, so that's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. It's something now where teams kind of, towards the end of Legion, they had these maps down on lock, right? They knew exactly what they were going to do. We saw them execute them, some flawlessly in the global finals, but now this is a whole new ball game altogether. And speaking of new things, the Infested Affix. So, Nagura, this is obviously something completely new to Battle for Azeroth. Why don't you walk us through that?
Yeah, so Infested is the 4th affix, so if you do a 10 dungeon or higher, plus 10 or higher, then you get Infested as the default affix for now. So Infested is random mobs in a dungeon getting selected, and they are infested. They have an aura around them that heals the mobs around them, so you want to CC them or drag them out or focus them down. And once you kill them, it spawns 2 Gahoonies, spawn of Gahoon. They will try to reach other mobs and infest those as well, so you need to CC them and kill them.
Is that the official term?
I was going to say, are we going with that? Let's make sure we have...
We should.
Gahoonies, okay. I think I can get down with Gahoonies. That's a pretty cute title for him in what is, frankly, probably a pretty gross process, I'd imagine. So.
Yeah. And one important thing I do want to add is you can actually bring 2 infested mobs together, and they're not going to heal each other, so you're going to see teams often kind of save, CC a few packs, get rid of a couple infested on the side, and then bring them all together at the end to try to make things as efficient as possible.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see how these teams are dealing with that. It's something, we're in the +3 world, which is where I tend to hover. In Pugland, we don't really see, like, a ton of those. Other big changes, obviously, certain classes are going to rise to prominence, maybe that we haven't seen as much of, certain specs, and certain factions, would we say. I hear there's going to be a lot of Alliance being played.
Yeah, one of the things when we're talking about some of the Infested, right, is while you can be using your crowd control and to be able to eliminate some of those mobs early, you want to be able to, get rid of the Infested, for example, or isolate it whenever you can.
has never been the team to hide strategies, Dreadnought.
Yeah, they haven't been a team to have that many pocket strategies, and I feel like that's why them sticking to the standard that we have expected from them so far coming into this tournament is a benefit for them, just because it makes it seem like their draft priority is going to be the same going into every single series. But I do think that it's unlikely that we have that over, kind of reactive, oh, here's our pocket strategy coming out from a roster like Gen G. But when they do have creative picks and it slightly adjusts, like things like the Alderac, the Sergeant Hammer, it usually looks very, very good in their hands.
There are 4 teams here. Who do we feel has the best adjustments to the tournament meta and the better hold of the tournament meta? Can we definitively give an answer to that?
For me, it'd be Dignitas. I mean, Dignitas has always been about adaptation since the beginning of the year. They want to make sure that they can respond to what you see in a best-of-5 series. They want to make sure that even if they don't win the battle, say a game 1 or a game 2, they win the war every single time. So if Dignitas sees what's coming their way, and if we do get that special flavor from Gen G in the semifinals because Team Liquid pushes it, I can see Dignitas adjusting.
Well, yesterday set the stage for what we have today and our final 4 teams. Let's take a closer look and a recap of the quarterfinals before we move into the final day of BlizzCon.
And it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to BlizzCon!
Our first match promises to be explosive, as China's sole remaining hope brings the fight to the current world champion.
Really well played here from Gen G thus far.
Hey, whoa!
And this is going to be the big combo. Look at Reset. Here's one. And he's going to look for the second one here. Everyone's got to get out. There's the second kill.
Hugo is gone. That is going to be GG. And Gen G will take game number 2 and move on to the semifinals.
We are moments away from our first iteration of NA versus Europe, and we are packing the house. I want all of you out there in slowly and doing their thing, hoping the other teams do something wrong pretty much. But this time they are against Excel's Angels, of course, who won the last time. So I can see that they put a lot more practice into it this time. But also Excel's Angels is this one team that has those...
We went into this matchup expecting South Korea to be very strong. Australia gave us some fun moments, and they could have taken Game 2 in Blizzard World. It just did not go their way, unfortunately, and then Carpe busted up.
I mean, that's a storyline if you want it. I was going to say it was worse than I thought.
Worse.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, in some sense, though, I agree with Jonathan, because the rumors of South Korea's death were vastly overstated, I think.
Yes.
When people came into the tournament and they were worried, this Korean team hasn't really practiced very much. Are their players taking it as seriously when they just want to break from the Overwatch League? Are they even able to have effective scrims with Fury in London and Fate over in North America? I think they've just proven that really they have the quality across the board and they know each other well enough that they can perform at a top level even without having put in like huge amounts of work like USA or Finland did previously.
But I will say this, Australia, despite it being a 3-0, did have some very close games on Blizzard World and Anubis.
Yes.
You going to deny me that one? You going to deny me that one?
No, they had some
Keep your mouth closed.
You can't say statements that are just facts and then be annoyed at someone for not arguing with you.
Can't deny me this one, lads. You've been trying to get me fired, aren't you? I've seen what you're doing.
That is the theme of this desk here at BlizzCon. It's how can we all not get fired? And somehow, some way, it's gonna still happen. But one person who definitely won't be fired because she's doing such a fantastic job is Frankie, who's actually going to be standing by with Fusions from Team UK to get his thoughts on this upcoming match.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. Now, yes, thank you, Lions! I just want to do a short disclaimer before I start talking to my friend Fusions here. This is not biased. This is top, very important insider research. I'm finding out what it's like to wear that 7 Lions jersey. Now, Fusions, thank you so much for joining me. You are clearly one of the biggest stories of this tournament, but you only joined the team after the group stages. So what was it like to join the team at such a late stage in the competition?
Filling in for Chris was really difficult because he had a kind of dominant role in the team. He was the kind of shot caller, kind of leading everyone, but I feel like I just tried to work my way around the team in terms of comms and how I was playing, and I think I've done a really good job of fitting in with everyone, and I think everything is going really smoothly so far.
That's a huge responsibility, though, calling the shots. So the team has had to almost reform around you. What are you like in game?
I'm really, really loud. If anyone was here in the arena yesterday, they would have heard that. I just kind of try and take over in the calls, mid-fights, target call as much as I can, and lead my team when I need to. But I also want to give space for people like Cruz to talk when he wants to, and just let everyone do their own thing.
I would personally never, ever give Cruz space to talk. That boy's got a mouth on him. What's it like being one of the greatest memes at BlizzCon?
It feels good, man.
We've got to head back to the boys on the desk. Before we head back, though, yesterday I tried to do the chant, guys, and I'm afraid that UK, we were a bit rubbish. Do you know the chant? When I say let's go, you say line. Should we do it once more? Yeah? When I say let's go, you say let's.
You don't have any idea of what your opponent's doing. They could be making twice as many like that and just focus on those alone.
That was something we definitely saw towards the tail end of the global finals, as it was really getting serious and teams were having to put it all on the line. They would have these small errors or mistakes that they felt put them back in the beginning of the dungeon, and towards the end they're just making these crazy insane pulls. They're like leveraging it all on bloodlust, like please let this work, and they're doing things that just look crazy, certainly from us here up on the desk, but sometimes you have to do that because of what I was saying. That's the nature of the MDI.
Yeah, well, one of the things these teams mentioned a lot of the time is, I had a chance to talk to them about how do you feel about Legion versus BFA dungeons, and what most of them mention is the difficulty of the trash and the strats required for the trash. It's not something that can just grab all together sometimes into the boss and just AoE down. There's a lot of strategy and difficulty involved now, so some of those riskier pulls will be even more impressive if they pull it off.
Yeah, you see there the crowd. This is a packed house here in Anaheim, California at BlizzCon. Super excited to have this kind of crowd. Let's talk about the map pool, though, for Series number 1. A little bit more of a deep dive in how this is going. Now, they're going to be kicking things off here with the Underrod. And the Underrod is a map that certainly with the right affixes can be difficult, but I'm not seeing anything here that looks too crazy. Guys, correct me, what do you guys are thinking?
It's usually a pretty safe map, in my opinion, especially with the affixes we're going to have here, Sanguine and Grievous, or Sanguini as we usually call it, Jack.
Rich was gone. I really thought we weren't doing that.
No,
Okay.
that was
Yep.
always me. That was always me. But, Fortified, not too dangerous in here. It's usually the Tyrannical setting that's a bit more dangerous, especially with those first 2 bosses, but it's a nice, more tame dungeon to start out this series.
Yeah, I think a lot of times you're going to be looking more at Kragmaw's room for where the most difficult trash is going to be coming from. A lot of times you will start seeing, for example, rogue skips being used right before the first boss to be able to get past all of that, not have to worry about any of the traps or the matron's cleave or anything like that. Will be very important for them to be able to move through, get Kragmaw down, and just start going through the instance as fast as they can.
All right, second map on the docket, at Haldazar. Nagura, what do you think? Is this another one of those maps that's maybe a little bit easier? Certainly there's some decision-making in the route you take.
Yeah, so you can choose which boss you go first, pretty much. It's a pretty open dungeon, but the affix is not too difficult either, except maybe teaming. But in the whole dungeon pool that we have here, Underrod, Talazar, and Tolagor, there's no affix that prevents them from doing really big pulls. Like there's no bolstering, for example. So we're probably going to see some very cool stuff from those 2 teams in those dungeons.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Now, if they go to a third map, it's going to be Tol Dagor, and Tol Dagor is probably my favorite map actually in this expansion so far. I love the trash. I love the mechanics. I love that last boss. I'm not a tank, so I really appreciate that.
You're a bad person for saying that.
No, I'm an Alliance player, so I'm the good guy. You are the 3 Horde players. I saw what you did in Tel Droslo, okay?
Tol Dagor it'll be a bit interesting. I mean, there is the bursting affix, so there's a lot of kind of neutral trash in there. A lot of scary pulls that could get pretty out of hand, and they have to control that just a bit. They can get pretty risky with it too, but some of the bosses are pretty nasty in there, especially tanks on the last boss, as you mentioned.
Yeah, taking a look here at the compositions, though, anything standing out to you guys? We're seeing a fair representation of Rogue, which I think we certainly all expected.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, Excel's Angel is really going to be taking advantage of the double sub Rogue, and a lot of times what I think we're going to be seeing most of is just being able to pull all of the trash that you can into bosses to be able to take advantage of Rogue's ability just to be able to tunnel so much single target damage into it. I was talking to Sierra before, and when they were talking about their game plan for Underrod, they're claiming at least that they're going to be able to kill Kragmaw before his first tantrum even goes out.
Which I hate to hear, because let the good boy tantrum. He's had a bad day. Let him tantrum.
I'm shocked and/or appalled that we're going to be seeing double blood DK here moving into the first series.
We were talking about all the differences from Legion into Battle for Azeroth. Some war never changes, is what we would say to that. Taking a look once again at that crowd. Guys, any final impressions? Sours, my man, I miss you. See there, I'm in the crowd. Obviously was with us for the Global Finals. We want to know what you all think at home. Who will win this? Are you rooting for Europe? Are you rooting for Asia Pacific? Use the hashtag EA or FM. Let us know who you are voting for. Free Marcy supporters, if you're awake at this ungodly hour, we appreciate you. Use that hashtag FM. right, well, I think we've given these teams a fair amount of time to prepare. Obviously, this is their first time on a stage like this. This is certainly, since we're doing it for the first time, it has to be their first time. And certainly, I wonder, some of these guys have shown nerves, you know, even in smaller venues, smaller locations. So I'm curious to see in front of this crowd that's out here cheering for them. Will that be a factor, guys? Are we expecting any kind of nerves to play into this?
I think it's always going to be a safe assumption that you're going to be having any of those kind of coming into it. But I think the most that you're going to see, or the biggest focus, is probably going to be that first game there. And one of the nicest things for at least this team is it's under rod. It's pretty straightforward instance to it. And that's why you want to start seeing those teams practicing maybe as much as they can to make sure that they get it into just raw muscle memory every single time. Because once you start getting into that flow and you have the focus on the game, everything else just kind of clears out.
Yeah, for sure. You have to make sure, you know, you're kind of calming down, you're settling those nerves, and you're playing your game. That's the thing you really need to be focusing on there for both of these teams. And this is what's so exciting about a young program like MDI. These are young guys who are coming in, and they're doing it for the first time in a venue of this size, in front of a crowd of this size. So to your point, hopefully after that first map, they kind of shake off the jitters, whatever are there, and really focus in on making sure they close out this series in advance.
Yeah, and especially because a lot of times a third game that we have, you know, Tol de Gore, King's Rest, Waycrest Manor, have a lot more of the difficult affixes that we're going to be seeing in the dungeons there. So I think a lot of the teams don't really want us to be going in that game 3.
Some of those are just mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would point out that is kind of the point here. We're not just doing like regular quests out there leveling up. We're supposed to be doing hard stuff here, guys. That's why I'm in the desk, you know, as a host and not an analyst here. I'm doing the easy, like turning in quest style stuff over here.
I can always count on you for that, and the +3s if I ever need to carry from you.
Yeah, hey, if you ever need a +3, I know a mean Night Elf Marksman Chimp Hunter who, yeah. That's why I'm running +3s, man. That's why I'm running +3s, okay? I'll switch over to Beast Mastery and immediately knock out 17s, but for now it's 3s.
It's so great seeing these guys just hanging around the desk. You could see some that have some of the nerves. Remember, we did see a lot of these guys, actually, most of these guys in Ohio, in Columbus, for the global final, and they're certainly at a more comfortable feel to them. So it's going to be really great to see how they settle in after this first game, like Jack said.
It'll be very interesting as well with Free Marcy's side, where they're actually having Zerace back onto the team. They did not have him available at the global LAN, so he's very happy to be able to be back with them. You know, 4 of the 5 players who won in 2017, so they have so much experience playing with each other. So they're so used to being next to each other and beside each other on that stage, though. I think it should be quite good.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing what's in store. But guys, no more time wasted. Let's hop into it. It is Excel's Angels versus Free Marcy at the BlizzCon.
Thanks, Rob, for that. Guys, welcome to BlizzCon 2018 MDI. Happy to be here with my friend Jack. Jack, good to see you. We're going to see here what the over-under rod is for the teams right out the gate. Mass stealthing straight to that first boss. Really common strat that we see in this dungeon, Jack.
Yep, always important to make sure you're getting that sap off onto one of the patrols there so they're able to quickly get past them. Really want to see just the Bloodlust coming up almost immediately there as they're engaging with Elder Liaxa here. Pretty straightforward boss here.
Yeah, so there's a Blood Bolt that's constantly cast on the tank. You want to make sure you interrupt it as frequently as possible. It does quite a bit of damage. We see the Bloodlust come up for both teams right away on each side. Now, she will spawn a Blood Mirror at some point, so you have double of those Blood Bolts to deal with, making sure the tank doesn't take too heavy damage. So you're going to have to well coordinate the interrupts between your team.
Yep, and you're seeing here just doing an excellent job. Both teams getting him very, very low, because like we said, we are on that fortified affix, so just as Bloodlust is going to be falling off here, both teams are just annihilating Liaxa. Free Marcy getting it a little bit faster, but both teams actually just neck and neck right now.
I mean, they just melted. They go right down the ramp here. Now, we have a couple of ways to go here. We can either go in front with the Maggot and, of course, the Ticks, which do a ton of tank damage and explode on the group for quite a lot of damage. I know because our groups, when we run Jack, frequently die because you won't heal us. But they do a massive pull here. Free Marcy on the right-hand side and just AoE everything down. There's a lot of casts going on here, a lot of dangerous things. You got to make sure you interrupt those lashers. If you do not have a disease dispel, you will have somebody get stunned until they're healed through.
Thankfully, both Priest and Monk healers do have a disease dispel available to both of them, but not to be outdone. Excel's Angels doing the same sort of strategy available to them. Wrath dropping extremely low here, but he's got tons of runic power to be able to get himself topped off, just for making sure he's able to kite away and able to drop his stacks there as they're going into it. But fantastic interrupts here, and it's always nice to be able to lean on that extra disease dispel in case one is able to go through.
Now, Jack, something we have to mention, and you know, there's kind of some MVP affixes that we've seen from Legion moving into BFA, and Grievous is one of them. Those stacks are much harder to heal up as a tank. You can see Wrath has been sitting in that 5 stack for the entirety of this pull.
Yeah, you were seeing him actually getting clipped by the breast there. Very good for him to just be able to get out as rapidly as possible, and that's also what has to happen when you're playing with Disc. You are able to pump out a very large amount of damage, especially on a single target, but when you start doing these larger pulls, especially if your tank is able to do as much damage as you're seeing out of Wrath, a lot of times you have to just sit back, play defensively, keep everybody alive, and often it may just end up going into heavier Shadowman spam to make sure they're staying topped off. But like you said, a lot of times you just have to balance out everybody dealing with the Grievous here. So, I mean, right now, the race has to be able to balance out Arrow, Brath, and himself, and clearing out those 5 stacks.
We're seeing a big pull coming in here from Excel's on the left hand of the screen. A lot of interrupts here, and of course, we do have those Bloodseekers. I don't think they pulled one here yet, but those Bloodseekers are deadly. They will fixate a non-tank player and just do tremendous amounts of melee damage. So something you want to keep an eye on the interrupt. Of course, they do have that Sonic Scream as well that will interrupt spellcasters. They stun everything together. You can see the tanks are well kiting, moving around, making sure that none of these mobs are in that Sanguine.
Very important here to be able to watch out for that. And I love the movement that they're able to, always going into the next trash pack they have to be dealing with here. They have so many slows at their disposal in case they get those Blood Swarmers where if you blink away or you just start sprinting away from them, they will immediately charge you. But if you're not too far out, 5-10 yards away, they won't charge you quite yet, and you could stay just out of melee range for that fixate.
We see the sap coming over on the side for Excel's Angels with that infested maggot. They want to make sure they move away from it so that it doesn't heal any of the mobs here. They will be dealing later with it. They grab another huge pack here. Now, a double Blood Swarmer pull here is really dangerous. That's a lot of damage. You can see them kiting around in circles, but it's so hard to get all that effective damage on them if you don't sit near the melee.
Yeah, and especially seeing Seer getting double fixated here. The cast did go off from the Blood Swarmer, and Divine Field goes down here. They do not have any battle res left available to them, and that's just the disaster situation they just can't have.
They do have one battle res, but I don't think they're going to opt to use it. I mean, just at this point, it's just going to be a full wipe. But luckily for them, they do have double rogue. They'll be able to release and remass stealth right away and get back to everybody. Free Marcy has done a bit of a smaller pull, a bit more reserved. Now, I think they did have to use quite a lot of resources on the previous large pull, so they're taking it a bit easier right now. But Excel's Angels falling pretty far behind here. We were just talking about that, Jack. Those Blood Swarmers so dangerous. Somebody missed their interrupt on the cast, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, when you're always counting on it and having that strong execution, a lot of times as a healer, you will just be free casting anytime that you see, the Blood Swarmer cast going off, for example. So at that point, you're just counting on that interrupt to happen, and then it shuts down the healing, it locks them out of their spell school, and you're not able to do anything to be able to keep Divine alive.
Free Marcy just chewing through this trash. We can see, of course, the second boss, Kragmaw, feasting in the middle of the room on one of those maggots. They will be pulling all of the trash in the room. We'll talk about the boss mechanics a bit later, but he will tantrum around the room, so you want to make sure this entire room is clear of any trash because he will proximity aggro them.
Yeah, but always very important to be able to watch out for those as well. Like we were mentioning, they're counting on being able to kill Kragmaw as fast as possible, but if they start getting the tantrum, it starts moving into those other mobs, and it could be such a disastrous situation if it happens.
They run through and pull some of these infested mobs together. Now, we did mention earlier that it's important to know these infested mobs do not heal each other, so you can CC a few of them on the different edges and bring them all together.
Yeah, you're seeing 5 infested mobs coming in all together here, and it's so easy for them to be able to deal with all of them at once, no healing going out from any of them, and then from there they just need to make sure they're taking advantage of the mage slows, keeping any of those Gahoonies from getting into the other non-infested mobs.
Yes, the Gahooni is the official term, of course, dubbed by Nagura. Making sure, now we do have the Sanguine coming down in just a moment. They do kill that Blood Swarmer first. We know how dangerous it is. They make sure to move right out of that Sanguine, which of course, just to refresh everyone's memories, does do damage to players if you stand in the pool, but will also heal enemies if they're left in the pool. So you can see this kind of slow kiting mentality from the tanks constantly if they move through. We do get AoE fear there from Zera, making sure to help some of those interrupts to get the Lashers, make sure none of the Lashers cast and stun any of the players.
It's always great, to be, especially when you have to deal with Maggot, for example, and everybody has to make sure they're not able to, so they don't have to be moving away from any of the breaths. Just being able to rotate through stuns, the fears, makes it so much easier to be able to count on and rely on.
Now, the spawns move really quickly. We should mention this. It's really important that you get some CC and you get some stuns, get some slows. Grips are really useful punts. You want to make sure that they don't reach any of the mobs, and they have a pretty big aggro radius. I think it's some 50 or 60 yards, something like that. Now, you can pull them far away enough from the trash to make sure that they actually just aggro the tank after that and don't do really anything except melee the tank for quite a bit of damage. Marcy now cleaning up the rest of the trash. They have one more CC on the side, and then we're preparing to pull Craig.
You see in here, just Free Marcy cleaning up the last of the trash in the room here. They do still have about 3.5 minutes before Bloodlust is left available to them, whether or not they want to be able to use it on Kragmaw or not. A lot of times just clearing out the rest of this room here, but Excel's Angels has more ground to make up, and they really need to be able to do something quick to be able to make up for those mistakes.
We do see a lot of the trash coming in, and they're just dealing so well with it. Excel's Angels has returned back. They're chewing through the trash as well. And Jack, as you mentioned earlier, this is really the majority of the trash in this dungeon. Probably some of the most dangerous. After this, the pulls will be a bit lighter, just making sure to get some of the proper interrupts as well. Free Marcy finishing off the rest of the trash now, struggling again to heal through those Grievous stacks. Brath is just sitting at 5 stacks the entirety.
Yeah, and at that point, you're able to take advantage of Fish Feast. You're able to a lot of times it is Dispute, for example, you get into these kind of sustaining patterns where you're able to heal through any of the grievous damage, but you're not topping everybody else off. But if it's able to actually keep on dealing that much damage, it's well worth the wait.
All right, well, we're going to jump to a quick break here as we sort out some technical issues, but when we come back, more Mythic Dungeon Invitational All-Stars at BlizzCon.
Gotcha.
If you are able to get on that Tyrande, even though she trades quite well into you, if she uses the Hunter's Mark, you're still in a position where you can get those quick blow-ups, and that's what Arcana is going to be looking for. For me personally, it's going to be the battle around the Biotic Emitter that we are most likely going to see. Who's going to take it, and are both teams willing to commit to it too?
And the way to know if you're going to see if any team's going to be moving forward that support camp is look at that bottom lane. We're going to see if Leoric or Arthas goes for the rotation. Whoever gets there first is typically the team that wants to be aggressive and get there. And Team Liquid usually runs for that Biotic Emitter, so we'll be keeping an eye on that as we watch the first turrets being grabbed here at the 1 minute mark. And instantly, Arcana is there. Also, as you mentioned, want to get pressure on the back line, even moving into that melee there as he goes in straight for the pulse strike on level 1. Get those bombs out. Drop them as many people as you can there to make sure that they are weakened so you can get those picks.
One of the things that I'm really happy to see is that Eternal again is on Arthas. He had some fantastic plays in Phase 2 on the hero, always just adding huge value, not only on the side lane, but also with the engage. And now once again, he is on that hero, trying of course to look for those rotations. Turret's super important here, both of the teams picking it up early. That will allow them also, once the objective spawns, to grab a second turret in the middle of that fight if they make the rotation. But now all the eyes are on the Biotic Emitter, the support camp here. Are we going to see that commitment?
Gen G so far has done their homework. You saw Leoric clear out that bottom lane, rotate to the middle, waiting for Team Liquid to make that play for that emitter, but no one moving for it yet. In fact, Team Liquid pulling back, realizing Gen G is playing safe around this emitter. They are willing to fight, so Team Liquid goes back and grabs a siege camp instead. Having this push early allows them to make the play afterwards.
And immediately scouted out too, so Gen G already saw that this is going to be taken right now. Bot lane though, that's where we're having Kyoja, still threatening Eternal. He's not the only one. Tis is actually looking for the potential engage, but Eternal sees it early enough, moves back immediately. Now we have Gen G reacting in kind, taking their own camp, but you can already see on the minimap that both of the teams are just hovering around the support camp. Both of them are like, are you going to go for it? Do we have to fight here?
That is the main focus for the early game for both these teams until we wait for that control point to spawn, which will be spawning pretty darn soon. Loving that both teams have waited for the siege camps too. They want to have that pushing door during that control point to pull away those side laners to clear that up, and still, Tis continues to control that point.
Also, we have ignore all distractions taken as a level 4 talent choice for
Rich loves this.
He loves it on that map in particular. You always have those minion waves pushing right next to the objective, so you can try to go for that extra range increase on the basic attacks, and that's something that he utilizes extremely well when those team fight moments happen.
is pivotal against a Tracer player. When she has to blink in, suddenly she has to use 2 blinks to get into that and also to get away. So she has to think twice about going for her engages. Arcana are already speaking about that Tracer, putting some damage on Tist, who's trying to hold the control point, but it goes over to Team Liquid first, and they start to build up percentage.
Arcana moving away here, but yes, as you said, Team Liquid grabbing the point first. Also, both of them not going for the support camp here. A lot of respect in game number 1. Iron Skin by Billy already used. Needs to be a bit careful here. Arcana still poking, trying to put the damage out, but Phoenix and Arthur still missing here in the middle.
Yeah, they're soaking up that level 7. So important. Genji already ahead in that regard, so Team Liquid trying to catch up, and that'll give time for Genji to build their own points up. The moment that 7 comes into, we'll see the aggression. Here's the other thing too, no one has used that turret yet. The turret is when you decide to put down your stake and say, we want this control point now.
Tis still holding the spot for now, but has to move off, eating quite a bit of damage here. Pulse Bomb comes in. Here comes the recall as Arcana is being attacked, and he goes down. Great kill by Genji as Tyrande gets the first blood.
Incredible read there by Sake. It resets the next focus there for Hasselhoff, but Arthur is actually the next one to fall as Genji finds 2 kills.
What a great start into this fight by Genji. The Korean team playing exceptionally well here. The attack against Garrosh by Tracer, trying to get the damage out, just simply dropping the Pulse Bomb and saying, okay, let's drop them low, force them back, and then the immediate play by Tis. The recall just not enough. Tyrande was there, and an easy kill against Arcana, followed up by a kill against the Eternal. Genji taking control of the first objective early on.
Team Liquid will have one more chance to fight over this. They're going to get the turret to make sure they're bolstering out that fight so they can move forward. But it is a situation that is definitely uphill for them. Genji controlling what they can here on the left, starting their own turret as well. 91% to 25%. Team Liquid comes in for one last stand.
Tis gets pushed off, but here comes Kyoja starting to move in. Overtime has started. This is a chance for Team Liquid. They try to make it happen. Already zoning out the opponent with Deckard Kane. But here comes Tis. They're dropping the first turret, and Genji is tapping at the fountain. Gonna go for the pre-tap before they re-engage into the battle.
Team Liquid has won the turret war, though. They have 2 turrets down. Team Liquid trying their best to grab this point, but Tis has been so hard to push off, so durable there. Another combo comes out, tossing support building to the side here. Also, at the same time, a mine coming in to hit Arcana, but Arcana able to recall away.
Rich put under pressure, but we have the healing beacon on the ground already. Billy moved away. It was a great play, actually, on the side of Genji. After the flip, the Iron Skin got activated, but already the mine was there from Junkrat. Now Genji again on the point, trying to go for the Protector. Here comes that flip. Billy needs to be careful. The Condemn comes out. Arcana in the back, looks for the kill, but he doesn't get it. Rich moves away and escapes.
But they have pushed him away. Kyoja, though, on the back line goes in for Neurok. Neurok getting hit there. The big grab breaker. There's 1, there's 2. As Genji finds more kills, and they're looking for a 3rd.
They're going for a 3rd, and they take him down. Arthur's dead. We have Leoric as a trade, but that's not going to be enough for Team Liquid. The Protector on the ground. Billy barely escaping with the Iron Skin, but Genji with 5 kills against 1, and the objective moves through the middle.
Genji showing exceptional control. Great play there by Tyrande. Sake landing those lunar flares, and the pure control there by Garrosh as well. Tist on this Garrosh is devastating.
Level 10 already in their hands, and Genji is just blazing apart here. Fantastic play by them up to this point. The Willing Vessel taken out on 7 also for Leoric. They have the 10s in play. They can try and go for that Entomb, for that taunt, for that arrow engage. Liquid has to be so careful. They still do not have heroic abilities.
This is horrible for Team Liquid. Immediately the Protector starts to run the top side. That middle fort already down to half HP, but Genji taking these wells and taking everything they can in space, waiting for that big combo to come out of the Protector. At the same time, you have Junkrat floating around the side here, ready with that Riptire, ready to find a kill.
It's an absolute horrible position for Team Liquid to be in. Not only do you lose the Protector, you're far behind in experience, and that level 10 allows Genji so much engage with the Hanzo arrow. The Warlord's Challenge is such a great tool if you get close enough to any of these heroes.
In the middle, Arcana coming down to help his teammate Eternal, who's in trouble. Riptire comes out. I thought Fortune's going to help, but Eternal's low on health, and he has no army of the dead. Boom, there he goes. Genji finds a 6th kill.
And once again, here comes the arrow. They go for Hazoffs, and the warp comes in just in time to save the Phoenix. This is taking a couple of shots off the fort, but still, we're having Liquid now finally with level 10. Ready to fight back. The Tornado is there. They're trying to go for Kyoja.
Bless a shield, there goes Arcana, there goes a punch, big salvo comes out, Kyoja might fall, no, he gets away, at the same time Sport Billy trying to retreat using the Iron Skin. Team Liquid just cannot find these kills.
Genji keeping everyone alive, and you're so right, Liquid cannot find the kills right now. And they have shown over and over again that they're absolutely happy to fight against a talent advantage if they feel they have a good position in a battle. They go in, they try and get the kill and move out. In the past, they've oftentimes been punished for it. They were trying to go for kills, they get it, but then on the retreat, they lose more. In this case now, it's all about the battle for level 13 and the second objective towards the top.
It's really showing in the composition. Gen G has speed on their side. They have the ability to find one target and pick it off quickly. Between that 100 mark, Hanzo damage, Garrosh coming in for the flip, and they've been so effective at it. Team Liquid needs to find a way to mitigate that, slow that down.
And Liquid now with level 10 has a bit of a fighting chance. It's just that huge gap in experience that we are seeing between the two teams that will make it much easier for Gen G to dominate the battleground from here on out. Poke war is already happening here in the middle, but we still have Arthurs deciding, do I have to rotate in here? Can we force a fight? Do I land that Howling Blast? Or do I go for the camp?
It's a Howling Blast, but it's on Lee Orc. He can walk away at any point. Team Liquid can start backing up and soaking here as Gen G continues to group up as 5. When they have an experienced lead, they typically do this. They dare you to come fight them on even terms. Gen G building towards that 13.
I mean, you can see how they immediately try to force the fight as they hit level 10. They put the Tornado out, the Blessed Shield as a follow-up, and then they try to go for the Auric. They could not get the kill, but they are still hovering around here as Gen G picks up level 13.
Tiss holding that front side. 13 finally connects here. It's all about those turrets being picked up here by Gen G. That next control point will be up soon. Team Liquid at the same time working on theirs, but Gen G is equipping themselves for an invade.
They're going for the item nomination here. They're going in deep. Have they overstepped though? Arthurs with a flank, and all of a sudden here comes Arcana. He wants the kill. He might get it. The shields are out, but Tiss is still low.
Eternal on the back line over the Deathman pop. There's that Riptire 2, and Tomb comes out, but Hasu's able to escape, but Scorpilly all by his lonesome trying to retreat. Here comes the Scatterrose. Here comes the Dragon's Arrow. Can there be a follow-up here from Rich? No kills coming out, but Gen G still brings the evade, and they're still healthy.
Arcana immediately moving in front of his teammates, trying to make sure that even if Rich has another shot available, that he's going to soak most of the damage here. But a great invade by Gen G. Liquid again looking for the kill, and Tiss was solo as Arcana makes his move, but it was not enough to drop Garrosh.
Perfect timing on the Indomitable too to make sure he gets pulled in by that Tornado. Had that Tornado connected, Tist would have definitely fallen. Gen G able to use their cooldowns to make sure they get priority in most of these team fights, but Team Liquid is right on their heels, building forward that level 13. Eternal finally finishing that quest as well.
Of course, at this point, you give over some of the control point to the top, and then you aim for a fight on even talents. Cooldowns, super important here as well, and both of the teams are still looking at roughly 20 seconds before all of them are going to be up again. But Gen G has advantages already. They're looking at more items. They have more under their control. And also they destroyed their opponent's fountain topside, so they can always pre-tab going into the battle, whereas Team Liquid just simply doesn't have that option.
And they're in full control of the control point. 63% and building. Team Liquid has to make a play soon, and they're waiting for that level 13, which should be able to come towards them on that top side. Gen G right now thinking about making the fight, though, as Tiss stepping up on Sportbilly. Sportbilly holding on that Iron Skin, waiting for the perfect moment to use it.
13 is there, but Arcana is already a bit low. Nuruk is trying his best to top him up as quickly as he can. Again, position already taken here. Overtime has started. Gen G can always move back to the fountain, and they will look for it. But for now, Liquid is still holding their position. They're going for the kill. They're trying to find it here. The Riptide's already out. The Tornado in play. They say go for a reset, but he moves out.
Gets out with that Ripper Rare at the same time. Kyoto stepping up, holding that forward front side, going in for the N2. Gets the lockdown. Big time coming in too. And there goes Arthas as the Lich King is destroyed. Sportbilly all by himself in the back line as he's trying to find a way out.
Billy trying to escape, but there's no hope. Both of the frontliners destroyed as Johanna falls. Phoenix nearly falling as the first victim in the fight, but Liquid could at least keep him alive here. Tough times for them. They have troubles getting these kills, and they have also a huge problem keeping their frontliners alive as the fight just goes on.
Gets better for Gen G, but worse for Team Liquid. Now forwards are starting to fall, and Gen G, who had a 2-level lead already, is about to extend that lead more. Moving towards that level 16, opening the fort they damaged earlier, that mid-fort, that's about to get picked off. Now the question is, will they step forward and try to get a keep wall? They can look at that top side, or even just take all 3 forts, and they're going to elect the latter of the options. Going to the bottom lane and clearing that well.
Yeah, they're so far ahead already. The 16 talent here is so crucial for them right now, since it gives them such a huge advantage heading into these fights. And Liquid somehow has to find isolation kills now. They're trying to look for experience first of all. They're giving up the bot lane, but Gen G, they are now of course taking the map. They have that advantage. They are absolutely willing to engage into even team fights, and at the same time they still rely on their protector to break through the bottom wall And with the next objective spawning bot side, they are already prepping to end the game with Protector number 3.
Yeah, Gen.G's mindset should be, okay, this game is already over. We just need to make sure we don't feed it, and we should be good to go. On the other side, Team Liquid, they're probably thinking about that level 16. Let's get to level 16, and then we force a fight. Team Liquid has shown time and time again, if they are behind when they move into the third control point phase, and that Protector's about to come up, they take the fight before the Protector shows up, because they feel like the game is already done at that point.
This is always this weird limbo, when you want level 16 to be able to fight, but your opponent is starting to rush towards 20, so when do you take that battle? And Liquid, they realize they might have to fight at a talent disadvantage. They're already skirting around here, just to see, do we maybe collapse onto someone that is a bit far out? But Gen.G, they don't make any positional mistakes right now.
Gen.G fully confident stepping up on this turret here. Eternal comes in for a flank. Arcade on the back line. They're going straight in for their own kill. Getting the damage reduction. Sake in trouble. Riptire comes in, and suddenly we have a Toronto down.
Sake is down, but so is Tracer. Arcana just fell, and once again, the Liquid is looking for the follow-up kill, but they lose Johanna. Gen.G with 10 kills against 2. The arrow comes out. Tist is there. They're looking for more, but it's already a positive trade.
Team Liquid able to get some experience off that. They're trying to find another one, though. Reset gets out and jumps to the conveyor belt. Hasselhoff's in trouble. Warps away. Will he get a potion? No! Rich comes in and delivers an arrow. Rich, kill you.
Eternal with a counter kill, though. He takes down Junkrat, but he himself also dies. 16 against 18 here. Liquid down 4 heroes at this point. But there's still a chance that they can fight on 16 talents once again. But team fights, and not really ending in their favor. 12 kills to 3 paint a very clear picture.
Things are not looking up for Team Liquid, that is for sure. But Gen.G already setting themselves up for that end game. Going for that biotic emitter, already clearing that up. Control point will be up soon, building towards that level 20. And a level and a half until they'll hit that. Team Liquid, when they spawn, have to go on the offensive. We'll see if they'll be able to get that engage they've been looking for.
I mean, they have now access to locked and loaded for Tracer. That's going to help a little bit. We have at the same time also just a couple of the talents that really help you to sustain yourself through a fight. Look at Johanna, going for the Holy Renewal here. That's definitely going to help to some extent. Embrace Death here. Both of the frontliners have suffered, but you can see how Liquid is now being. Know that at this point, this is the best possible fight they can ever get in this game. They know once that Gen.G hits 20, they're going to be in even more trouble. But as long as both teams are on 16 talents, even with a 3-level disadvantage, Liquid knows now we have to push it. Invade the opponent's camp, take their items, try and force that battle and hope that Gen.G takes it.
Gen.G's not going to take it, though. Why would they? 19 and a quarter here. You just wait for that control point to pop up. Even at this state, if Team Liquid were to get on the control point now, if it were available to them, Gen.G can still got that level 20 by double soaking. They have the ability to, especially with that Junkrat, to do it in a safe manner.
The only reason why Gen.G would take a fight at this point is that there's something on the map that they say, okay, this is worth either fighting for, or they feel they have a good position heading into the battle. Liquid is going to try and force it, but you can already see 27 seconds. And on the timer, half a level away.
Rich, Blessing comes out, but he dodges it with a natural agility. Hanzo skedaddles, and Rich starts to run to the bottom lane, and still time is ticking. 19.5 experience here.
And that's a big cooldown burn too. Now you don't have that engage roll anymore through the Blessed Shield. That's definitely an issue for them. But Gen.G is very likely to still wait out until they have level 20. And that could just be enough time for Johanna to rely on her heroic ability once more.
Look at Kyo, just setting up for that 20, soaking the top lane. Tiss, the only one here at the control point. Rich, maybe overstepping a little bit, but he's feeling pretty darn confident. And after how he's been playing so far,
Eternal moving in, trying to look for that flank again with his Arthas. They're trying to be aggressive, but Hasselhoff is already in trouble. Has to walk away. Arcana with a bomb and the recall. Here comes the Tondo. They want the kill and they get it. Duranda is down.
Team Liquid able to find that kill. Can they find a second on Tiss? No, he gets away, but they got the tank low on health and he has to tap. And no support means that Team Liquid can poke from afar.
Tiss is unkillable. That guy just doesn't die. Every time Liquid goes in, there's that shield popping up, and all of a sudden Garage just walks away. Not a worry in the world. But Liquid now have a little bit more time. Can they grab the objective? Can they gain some momentum here? Take a few structures, maybe get 20 themselves with a protector, or is Gen.G gonna shut them down?
I am worried that it might not be enough here. They're still building up here to the 40%. Gen.G's trying to pull Team Liquid away from that point to buy more time for Sake to spawn as they shield themselves on the turret. But here's the gauge condition comes out. Team Liquid steps forward, and at the same time, Hasselhoff is trying to find a kill.
Garrosh once again walking away, and the two of them in the ground. They're buried alive. Arthas goes down. Can Liquid get a counter kill? Tiss is low. He's once again so low, but does he die? No, he does not. Instead, Johanna falls.
Tiss is unkillable. Hasselhoff is trying to make up for it. He steps up, but he's down too. That's going to be a total of 3 as Team Liquid takes a 5v4, but Gen.G turns it around.
Arcana!
Arcana popping off. He's showing off that Tracer.
He's going for the triple kill. Arcana taking them down.
They don't have the Storm Talents, but they have the plays. Kana is saying, I've had enough, goes in, takes down 3, kills the unkillable.
Seconds, but it does slow you down.
Really precarious because near Sierra's he just has no mana left available to him. He's just trying to be able to get any kind of cast off that he possibly can. We got a massive pull here. They were actually going to be popping Bloodlust, making sure that they're going to be able to get through all of the trash mobs here. And they did wait on those Defilers. That was actually the Defiler that came before. They did get that Sporecaller down, and they just put the CC on it, and then they started grabbing it later with that Death Speaker. So when that Death Speaker cast goes off, like you mentioned, that's just what's causing Divine to start running and getting away from people as much as possible. Good to see Seer getting a little bit of mana left available to him, start catching up and getting some extra damage out onto these mobs. They're just looking to clean up everything here.
That Wicked Frenzy does a ton of damage. All of the mobs now dipping sub 30%, 100% increased damage. That means, as you can see, Divine frantically running away from them. Bloodlust just coming off, just fading now, 2 seconds left on it. Managed to deal with the rest of them. The Frost Mage is just so essential for peeling off the tank here. No problem, runs away, he starts to pull the next skeleton pack, trying to get that 100% trash as quickly as they can so they can start the RP to lead to the last boss. But Free Marcy not giving up. They're still 5% ahead of the trash right now. They've already dealt with the third boss too, and both teams just massive pulls coming in this final area leading to the last boss.
Yeah, like what we were seeing out of Excels, where they're able to just continue. Well, it looks like, you know, Free Marcy definitely has the trash advantage in terms of what's killed. Excels just has so much that they're already working with. They have so many mobs already on top of them that by the time everything goes down, they're just continuing dragging into the next thing. They're dragging into the next thing, and it just makes it so much easier just to focus those Corruptors down. And then by the time they start actually focusing on the rest of those mobs, they're going to be gone for good, really. And the Frost Mage slows make this so easy for the tank.
We did have Cheat Death proc over for Arrow on Free Marcy, so he's not going to have that available pretty much for the remainder of the dungeon. That kind of get out of jail free card with all his damage going out. Breath getting down to 4%, managed to heal him up, and Haru